very long way, and it's lights out. Away we go for the second time here at Jeddah.
The chance to catch up, and JJ's been spun.
As he may go for the move here on Deku now.
He has
into turn one.
And he does.
Very aggressive from the two. Alfa Romeo has spun and will be in the way of Gares here. Oh, that's not good. But Zakov making the move down, and there it is. And it's just a very unfortunate turn of events here for Gares, as Zakov will get the race win, but...
And a very big hello everybody, welcome along to the 85th running of the Australian Formula One Grand Prix that originally saw the race run on a road circuit back in 1928. The circuit here at Albert Park has been revitalised. It's a brand new layout and a brand new opportunity for drivers to either get it right or get it wrong. Let's take a look at the layout. We will be battling around a 5.2 kilometre circuit with 14 turns, 3 DRS zones, some heavy braking areas, and a circuit that's difficult on tyres and difficult to overtake. Let's take you to your commentary team.
Hello, okay, I fixed it. My mic was not working and that scared me for a second. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 5 of ARL Elite Division. I'm joined here by my good friend Weru.
Hello, this is Boy.
And today we'll be casting the Elite Division for you all. It should be starting soon. But first point of order that I should do at the start of the stream, just while everyone's here and while we wait for the lobby to roll up. Offer only available during August if you subscribe to the channel, but I also recommend you follow if you want to keep up to date when streams go live. But if you subscribe, you get into the draw to win one of 3 $50 Steam vouchers. I know I'm subscribed. I know HK has been giving out some gift subscriptions at the beginning of the month, but if you want to be in to win it, gotta be in the draw. Where are you subscribed?
I unfortunately am not subscribed.
Oh, no. I'm disappointed.
I am a bit embarrassed, but
I'm disappointed. I did call you out on that. I did trap you there.
I am a Nitro booster in the Discord though, so I hope
Okay.
that compensates.
It does a little bit. I'll give you a bit of credit there.
I'm supporting the league in some way.
Yeah, it's true. I'll give you credit. So hopefully it should be drawn at the end of the month. If we have a look at the team standings while we also wait. Red Bull on 122 points, which I believe majority of that comes from Zakov, who has not won a feature race. Have not lost a feature race, I'm sorry. He's won 4 on the trot.
Yeah, I'm a Red Bull driver, so I'm gonna have to say, full disclosure, I will be slightly biased, but
Wow.
Zakov has just been the class of the field this season. He's gotten 4 wins in 4 races.
Uh-huh.
The last win in Jeddah was a bit lucky. Gares was ahead, and unfortunately Gares got entangled with one of the back markers, but I think he's shown a lot of pace. I expect him to take another win today. So let's see what comes of it.
How many setups has Zakov given you to say that?
Well,
Shooting.
that's private information.
Private?
I can't
Okay.
disclose that.
I just have to
That
say
would
they
be
are
like
good
a
setups, I will
rental
say
case.
though.
They're very stable.
They're very good setups, I know. I tend to steal just people's TT setups.
I should sell them because the Red Bull Discord is just full of it, full of the best setups you could imagine. But
There's some no TC people in the chat. Can't believe people would be like that. Basically calling
I've
it
heard
Flipsy.
most of the slander that I hear from people who make fun of no TC are behind me in the championship, so I don't think they should be making those jokes. Just saying.
True.
So I mean, if I'm ahead of you, I don't want to hear it.
Unfortunate. That's a good way. That's actually a good response. I can't say that because I think I'm currently 11th, which means I miss out on pole next week. Which is unfortunate.
I mean, everyone has their time.
Yeah, that's true. If we have a quick look at the drivers' standings, we can see Zakov on 100 points. So we did not get any points in the sprint race in Bahrain, which I believe was week three. Week 3. Val next to him on 47 points. Then Kebab, Ekim, Dutchy, William, then Crush. I don't know why I got distracted by the Williams logo. Deku, Gears, CGM, and Spliff. And also Zay is also someone you should mention just outside the top 10. Because you really want to get into the top 10 this race, because next week is a sprint race in Spa, Francorchamps.
One of my favorite tracks. I think sprint races around Spa are going to be very fun. I think setups are going to be an important thing on that track.
It's a good race, and having double the racing is always good.
Yeah, it's great. And you also love to see the fastest drivers in each of the divisions sort of fight back from the midfield, because you want to see how people who aren't normally at the front, how they would cope with the pressure of leading the race. And if Bahrain is anything to go by, it's usually very good, very competitive, because everyone here has got the skill to handle the pressure. So I think it's going to be fun. The midfield is quite tight. We have 3 drivers on 22 points right now, and the gap from P3 to P10 can be, completely flipped in the matter of a feature and sprint race. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Definitely. We're definitely looking at Zay, Spliff, CJM, Gears, even Deku trying to get as much points as possible and maximize it so they can get into that top 10, because you don't want to drop out of it and be in 11th like where Zay is.
Yeah, there's no position worse than 11th in a sprint race.
Because if people don't know, we don't do a qualifying on a sprint race weekend, we reverse the top 10. And then from 11th to 20th stays the same. So, being 10th is where you want to be, because it will put you up the front. Being 11th is disappointment, and being 20, well, at least you have 2 races. Make up the positions.
Yep. The bottom 11 are unaffected by the grid reversal. So, however the championship ends this week is where the drivers will be starting next week if they fail to make it into the top 10. So, lots of things could happen next week. It could be safety cars, could be good strategy battles. I think setup is going to be the most important thing. You're going to have people who prioritize the low downforce. I won't be surprised if I see people running 0-0 around Belgium. But I think it's going to be a great race. I'm not going to...
Are you going to do it?
No comment. I'm not going to write it off.
Leaking strategies already? Ready?
I've had my share of 0-0 experiences in open lobbies, and I can tell you it's not that bad.
Not that bad, huh? I mean, there's a lot of overtaking zones that are just straight. You can't really overtake into corners, can you?
Oh yeah, Sector 1 and Sector 3 are just going to be impossible to overtake in, but I'm not setting anything in stone. I'm just saying I won't be surprised if 1 or 2 drivers try it out.
We're about to hop into the lobby. The countdown has started in the lobby here. Hopefully we'll switch a bit. But while we wait for that, who do you think is going to win? And I think I already know the question.
If I set my bias aside, I think given the caliber of drivers we have a new group of drivers that joined in last week. I think it could be anyone, honestly, but I think Zakov is more likely given the form he's shown in the last couple of races. 4 wins in 4 is a scary record to go up against. So I think Zakov's going to win. And if safety cars and strategy come into play, I think could be anyone. Could be Val, could be Ekim, could be Crush. So
I know from my race, from experience, there wasn't really any safety cars, even when some people were laid out onto the track. I know in Academy, maybe there was. I can't remember.
I think we had a few last night in Prodigy. I think we had 2 safety cars and 1 virtual. So if those come out at the wrong time, those come out at the wrong time, you will lose a bunch of position.
And I always hope for rain, so hopefully see some rain to spice up the racing.
Well, we're about to find out. The lobby is up.
Dry quali.
Looks to be dry, but unfortunately, as commentators, we haven't got all of the information that the drivers have in their screens in front of the halo. So
far, nobody's coming out. Everyone's kind of just waiting in the pits. It looks like.
Ferrari's going out. I can just get up the correct menus. I think that might be Dutchy that's gone out first. Yeah, it is Dutchy that's gone out first, and he's followed by Vlad, sorry. The outlaps are going to be important for the drivers as they come out on 70-degree tires, but you want to strike a good balance between getting good temperature and you don't want to start below 85 degrees, otherwise you're going to have a pretty bad exit onto the main straight, which you need if you want to have a good lap. I've always believed that having a good start onto the main straight sets you up for a really good lap, so they're going to want to find a good balance between tire temperature and tire wear, because an outlap can do 3% of wear to the softs, which is quite a lot if you remember how it was last game. So I think we're going to see a few good bankers out here. I'm expecting a 17.8 to be the slowest banker. Pole, I won't be surprised if we see probably a 17.5 or 17.4.
The Alpha Tower is racing a little bit, and I did see a name that I haven't seen since the first race of the season join the lobby, who comes in late contender, which is Impulse.
Impulse, he gave Zakov a good run for his money.
He did.
France.
So
if it wasn't
it's
for the
definitely one of
penalties.
those, a new challenger, as Dutchy crosses the line. Starters fly, hopefully won't get blocked by anyone.
Should have clear air. Gets a really good turn 1, turn 2. In 6th gear for the long run down to turn 3. You want to get good trail braking here so you can rotate the car pretty well, which he does. Keeps it neat and tidy, going around turn 5. And you must take turn 6 flat. You will lose a few tenths if you don't take a flat, which he does easy flat in the Formula 1 cars. Into turn 7, obviously sets the purple sector. It is the first time to be set. This is where you want low downforce, because running high wings will lose you a couple of tenths to the cars in the race, but you want to have a good balance, because coming up is turn 9 and 10, the fast chicane that Australia is synonymous for. Goes down into 6th gear, takes it with confidence, almost flat for the right kink, keeps it within track limits. We saw a few Aston Martins spun in qualifying here yesterday, Taz and Fluxy, but Dutchy showing them how it's done, keeps it neat and tidy. It's looking like a good banker. Doesn't break for the penultimate corner, sorry, third to last corner. For the penultimate corner, keeps it tight. And that looks like run-of-the-mill banker, so see where that puts him. See where all the other drivers have to keep up. 17.8, just like I said, so no surprises there, Dutchy.
Pile up in sector 1 and 2. But it looks like that's all been sorted out now. There was 2 cars quite close to each other.
I did miss that, so not sure what happened there.
We will just jump around between drivers. As Gears sets the fastest lap of a 17.8, but these times will fall as the track improves.
That is correct. Like I said, 17.1. Christ, okay. My prediction for pole was a 17.4, but Zakov just gone and absolutely shot through that with a 17.1.
I did the predictions in chat, and I chose a 1:16.8, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah, I think Zakov can pull it out of the bag. Around Jeddah, this is secret information from the Red Bull garage. He only got his banker lap in. He didn't validate his last lap, so this time at the moment is good enough for pole, and I think he'll probably be sitting comfortably up there for the rest of the session until Tucker and Luton hits him. So hopefully he can get those laps in at the end. He'll want to lock in pole. What I'm interested to see is when Impulse does his lap, because Impulse and Zakov are going to be the 2 drivers fighting for the win today, in my opinion. So
Currently following along about Combat Rat. Call him Combat for sure.
I think Rat's a better name than Combat.
People like to be called by the first names. Maybe if he gets to the top 3, we can do an interview and ask him that question.
So you reckon his first name is Combat, last name is Rat?
I don't know. As Crush gets a purple Sector 1. Following along with him into the brand new, very long, little bit windy Sector 2. The far chicane coming up in DRS zone. You want to take that as nice and possible, as flat out as possible as you can. As much speed through to get good onto the straight. Open the DRS, come into the corner. Turn in, stay off the curb. Really get a good exit out of the final corner. And set pole position that nobody can touch. Get good position for Williams.
I think he can get up there, definitely. P3.
P3. Not many people are touching good friend Zakov though.
I think it's only a matter of time. I think Impulse is just sitting and waiting for everyone to get their bankers in before he comes out and does his lap.
As Val is about to start his flyer, we will watch along. The second in the championship. One person I am disappointed to say is not racing and may not race for a few weeks depending on how his wheel fix goes is JKO. I know he's in the chat. Always a good racer to watch and always up there.
Always very quick.
Yeah, and usually a good teammate to Val.
I think when his wheel's back, he's definitely going to be up there, fighting for podiums, if not wins. It's unlucky that his wheel let out just as the new game came out.
Apparently the wheel is under warranty, so I like that. I love it when something's under warranty. As Val spins, coming out of the far chicane, it was on a very good lap too. Purple Sector 1, purple Sector 2, so he'll probably limp to the pits and see what he can do from there. As his teammate also goes wide. If you can, as I just swapped Apex, who is currently in a 360 spin, holds it together and starts going straight again. I can't really find anyone that's currently on a flyer, but it looks like Iziko is.
I think Impulse is about to begin though, so
I think that's someone we might want to look at.
He's on his outlap, getting the tires warmed. I think I might have a tire bug because it's showing some
Gears, who's
funky
also in the
temperatures.
championship, is having a go, so we'll follow along with him. See what you can do. He's also up there. Had some very strong races in, I believe, both Bahrain and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, he was probably going to get that win if it wasn't for the unfortunate incident with the back marker, but he's on a good lap so far, very tidy.
Go for a bit of cockpit cam, because it is qualifying. Always good to see how they hit their apex, especially into the fast chicane. Makes it nice, goes a bit wide, doesn't invalidate there, because you do lose a bit of time. That's not really a spot you really do invalidate.
More lockup. I think he's going to improve by a few tenths here. That was a very tidy lap. And with the few tenths of rubber laid down on the circuit, I think it's going to move up probably just ahead of Crush, but behind the stale. Yep, 17.5.
As
it's a tidy lap.
Impulse has unfortunately invalidated his lap.
Yeah, I think he invalidated quite early. Dutchy is out of the session.
Out of the session. Who can we go on? See, he is in the wall. Try find someone that's currently... Oh, is he on camera? There we go. It's the best I think to see.
Seems like a bit of an Aston Martin thing to do, spinning out of turn 10.
Oh.
But I think you might want to watch Impulse, who's just starting another lap. He turned off his battery quite early, so he's got full battery of charge. Goes down to 4th gear for turn 1, which is quite unusual.
I will say, having a look at the McLaren, very nice. Car that's growing on me. The only thing I don't really like about it is the chrome rims. Not my most favourite part of the car.
I think it looks good when it's being driven as tidily as this lap is being driven.
So not like Daniel Ricciardo.
Not like Daniel Ricciardo, unfortunately. Everyone would want him to do good, but he just can't seem to find the pace in the car. But looking at it at impulse to sector times, he is up there with the top drivers, which is not unusual. There's a lot of traffic in the way, but luckily they're just standing by as they're supposed to. Doesn't spin, which is always good.
Doesn't make the Aston Martin mistake.
The Aston mistake.
Exit on the final corner. Nice and tidy. Where will he end up? Bit off the
P9.
pace. It was his first actual flying lap though, so he's going to come in and do another one. Kebab is all alone on a flying lap. The sixth sector coming up to the fast chicane.
Oh, it's just gone wide. He's lucky not to invalidate that one.
There's a few things that are a bit forgiving.
I think with the new game, the curbs are just a bit more forgiving in general, because in the last game, you'd just like think about touching a curb and you'd be around, but Kebab goes into the pits. Maybe he felt he wasn't improving enough to justify finishing that lap. Of course, there are only 5 minutes left in the session.
Maybe on a fly. See where he ends up. It's alone. P4.
It's a very tidy lap. I think Crush is
There
definitely in here for
a
P2.
AlphaTauri that's in the gravel. Right, looking to rejoin the track. Hopefully you can do that safely.
I think it's Frozel.
Azay has invalidated again. Val has invalidated again.
I think just finding that he's pushing too hard, which is understandable. Everyone wants to do well, and he knows he's got pace.
Azay crosses the line in P8.
It's a great time.
You just gotta mosey on around the pits. You see a few cars coming out. Got the two Red Bulls looking to potentially tow each other. And it looks like Zakov towing Spliff. Try to get him as close as possible to get that team fight happening.
I don't think Spliff's on the lap as of yet.
No, they just came out of the pits. Nobody's on the lap at the moment. But they might be doing double. As Impulse has a 5-place grid penalty with collision with Combat Rat. Not too sure what happened there, but that's not going to be good for his hopes.
That's going to be... it's going to take a bit of pressure off Zakov's shoulders, because he knows Impulse is going to be his main competitor, but at the moment it's looking like that won't be the case, at least for the first few laps.
Follow along Zakov on his flying lap. He is up just a tiny bit on his original time, getting a purple first sector.
I think he'll be able to get into the 16s, given the track evolution. If he gets sector 3 right and the chicane, I think he'd be up there.
Barely up in that sector. Very, very, very marginal.
But Sector 3 is where most of the traction zones are on the slow speed corners, so that's where track evolution plays the biggest part. Coming around the penultimate corner. I think it's a tidy lap.
Man, looks
I'm not
so
sure if it's going to be in
smooth.
the 16s though.
Gonna be close.
And he does.
Barely in the 16s.
Just under the 16s, 69, which is still
Split
an
goes
absolutely
up to
fantastic time.
P6. As Patio comes into the pits. See who's at the front of this pack. As Val might be on a flyer. Going for multiple, I'm assuming.
I'm not sure if you saw that there was a spun Haas at the exit of turn 9.
I
10,
did
sorry.
not. I was all focused on that red Ferrari. Looks like that Haas has rejoined the track. Val hasn't invalidated. This might be the one and only lap he gets. What's it gonna be? P4 with a 1:17.5. He's not gonna be able to get around again.
It's a great time. I think he's just gonna send it back into the pits now. But that puts him in a good position. P3 to P9 is separated by just over 110. So it's going to be very tight the last couple of seconds in qualifying as they come around doing their final laps. I think the...
Eckham is
Eckham has gotten
disqualified for the session for
disqualified.
going wrong way.
Not entirely sure how that happened, but he will be starting P19. There is nothing we can do about
He may have been
disqualifications and
driving,
grid
he might have
penalties.
spun and be driving wrong way, which I don't think he'll be very happy about that.
I think he was trying to rejoin safely. There might have been cars coming around on laps he didn't want to impede, so doing the right thing he did get punished for, unfortunately. But coming to the business end of qualifying, there's lots of cars starting and doing their laps at the moment.
As we're on board with Frozzle, trying to get into competitive lap time because at the moment, quite off the pace.
I think Frozel is a lot faster than this. He just got unlucky, made a few mistakes on his first lap, but he's coming around the second to last corner. Keeping it neat and tidy. Up to 5th gear for the traction. He's going to be the 4th car to take the flag now. I reckon he'll be up by a few tenths. Yep, he does. 8 tenths, which
Slightly more
unfortunately only moves him up three positions. But that is a decent time for him. Next across the line is going to be the Mercedes of
As
Joshua
Kebab
Taylor's
spins and
Kebab
hits the wall.
spins.
The spectating him, it's unfortunate. There's a Haas also potentially in the wall.
17-2 from Joshua Taylor. That's a great time. He's going to be...
As Zay
involved up
also
there in the
spins
fight.
as I go to him. I don't think there's really anyone else that is currently on a flat. Memphis is. Please don't spin Memphis. I want people to complete their laps. As he goes into the pits.
I think
Crush.
you want to watch Impulse.
Almost spins. Almost loses it. Comes up to the line. Doesn't improve.
Oh, Impulse has had a massive lock up into the second to last corner and he's lost all of his time and,
And he
he's spun.
spins.
That is unfortunate. He's going to be kicking himself for that.
Absolute
because
chaos
he
as
knows...
Gears makes it around, but he's invalidated. I think that might be it. Unless Combat Rat... No, he's not going quick. That'll be it.
I think that's it. I think that's qualifying over. Impulse has sent it into the wall.
It's unfortunate. That was a bit of a chaos. Every time I spectated a few people, it was just... It was like Fluxy was playing for everyone.
The caster curse is strong with you. Right, so I think that's qualifying done. I think everyone's in the pits or invalidated. So Comet Rat's going to be the last person to come into the pits. Zakov took pole, as a lot of people would have predicted. You can see in the Twitch chat, the points are about to get dished out. Unfortunately, the pole time was not 16.8 or lower. It was 16.9, so
I'm very
not
upset.
far off. I'm very happy not to have bet on that because Well, I have
Quite
24,000
upset.
points. But yeah, that is it for qualifying. Zakov taking pole, joined by Joshua Taylor on the front row. It's a Red Bull Mercedes front row. It's 2021 again. The Tail, second race in ARL in P3 with Deku next to him, P4 with a massive improvement over his form for the earlier parts of the season. Gears in P5, joined by Vlad in P6, who set only one lap in qualifying, so that's an impressive performance from him. Crush in P7, Spliff in P8, Kebab P9, Zay P10, Dutchy P11 for Aston Martin, and Impulse, a shocker, in P12 with a 5-place grid penalty, so he's going to be
I believe
17th.
that's already taken into account.
That is... no, actually, it's going to be... He was 12th on lap time, so it's going to be
no.
further down. So...
It could be worse. Could have had Ikem that unfortunately gets disqualified for driving around the wrong way.
yeah,
I know
not
how
much
that
you
feels.
can do.
Not the most pleasant feeling in the world.
That's just how the game is coded. Unfortunately, not much we can do about that. But I expect to see Ekem and Impulse putting in the laps, putting in the performances to push up from the back. So I think we're going to be in for a good one. I'm not sure what the weather is. It does look... The sun is
Any
not as bright as
race
normal.
engineers in the chat that want to say if it's sunny all the time or if it's gonna bring some rain near the end?
I don't think we should ask the chat for engineers because there have been a few false rumors in the last few races about the weather. I think we should just see what comes. I don't think it's going to rain. I don't think I've ever seen a
Surely we don't
league race
get
in
trolled
ARL.
by some. Surely there's some
Yeah, hopefully we
people with
don't.
some good information.
Formation lap is about to begin.
Apparently the
The
false
formation
rumors
laps.
came from you, where?
I cannot confirm or deny that for legal reasons.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying is anyone we probably see in chat is probably telling the truth as long as it's not you.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that it could be true, it could be false. We can't know it for sure. The formation lap is away. Kebab is eager to lead the field. Hopefully he can fight and lead the field in the race, not just in the
I mean, if you don't
formation
know,
lap.
you're not actually allowed to do that under the new rules. You can't actually jump the start. So
That is correct. I'm gonna pretend I knew that.
as he slowly starts to give back to positions there, but I'm sure the FAA might have a look at that. There's been a few desync issues over this week and last week, so maybe that, or he may have thought it was a race start.
Possibly. I think it should say formation lap in capital letters on the top of your screen. So if you're not aware it's a formation lap, I think that might be a skill issue. But they're warming up the tires, getting them ready. I'm gonna have a look at the tires that everyone's on. P1 to P12 are on mediums. P13, so from Frontal to Kato, they're on hard. So they're obviously going for the alternate strategy, which is a good option around Australia. Impulse is on the medium, so I think he's going for that grip off the line, get a good launch, get a few positions off the start, and then race with the guys in P12 in terms of strategy. Apex on the hards as well, and Ekem P19 on the medium. So no soft tires. The soft tires are as good as I don't know what to use.
What they are.
They're only good for qualifying. That's what they are. That's correct.
Or like 3-lap shootout after a safety car.
Yeah, if we do get a late safety car, that the softs will come into play. Crush has been disqualified. If you don't know how it works, once you get disqualified from the formation lap, your tires are on 70 degrees. So unfortunately, I do expect Crush to fall back, not because of any skill issues. It's just going to be the temperature. Joshua Taylor joins in. I think he drove too far into the pit box, unfortunately. So the stale, they're all just falling like dominoes at this point. Someone has spawned. I think it's Frozzle. He is facing the wrong way. He chucked it into reverse on my screen. I'm not sure if you can see that. He's hit the wall. Oh my.
And disqualified, and Pass is also spun. So they're trying to copycat me in my race. All I did was spin on the line as a back marker to want my tyres. His lights go off. And they're off. See if I can get a better camera angle than this one, because this isn't really helping us very much. As now we see them coming down to the line. It looks pretty clean so far. Cleaning that midfield pack. Clean out the back. Doesn't look like too many accidents. Oh, as we see, Zay has gone absolutely into the wall. Don't believe he's taken anyone else out, as it's a VSC. Virtual safety car has been deployed. There's some shuffling as Zakov already has gotten off to a crack of a start.
So was Gers. He's P2. He's right behind Zakov. So I think he was just incognito making up the positions. He's going to be fighting with Zakov for the win as well, just like last week. It's good to see. No surprise the hard runners are at the back of the field. The launch of the hard is not very good. Eckham up from 19th into 12th. It's a great start from him.
Hopefully the VSC is ending. Hopefully in a bit. So we'll have a look at some of these midfield guys, because as it's definitely ended. Catch on to the Ferrari and Alpha Tauri battle here in the mid-pack. It's quite congested.
It is congested, but I'm not sure if you saw, but Gers unfortunately just put down too much power on the start, and he's spinning still, so I think his tires might not be up to temperature. He's lost 2 positions. He got overtaken by Destale and Spliff, who's up a number of positions as well, so it's a Red Bull 1-3, which I personally love to see, but in the interest of staying neutral, I think there's a few battles at the back. Someone has DNF. It's a Ferrari. It's Memphis Reigns. Not sure what's happened there. He's going to go to the back of the field. It's a big incident. Big incident.
Impulse has retired from the session. Zay, I believe, may have retired from the session. Eckham and Combat Rat do not have a wing. No safety car has been called. Dutchie's in the pit. Coming out now on some hards.
I think there was some major wing damage.
Try find a battle now, as Eckham gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Bit of chaos on the start. Vlad.
I am currently on Vlad at the moment because he seems to be in the closest knit battle, trying to catch up to Joshua Taylor.
Yeah, Joshua lost a few positions at the start. I think there was a bit of chaos up the front. Unfortunately, because of Codemaster's great camera angles, we couldn't have a look at them, but Val is going to be looking at the front group, seeing what comes in terms of strategy, seeing what comes in terms of battery. Speaking of battery, you might want to check a few of them. Zakov sets the fastest lap. He's just running away.
Eckham has DNF'd into the wall. It's not what you want.
Crash and Apex as well. Oh my
absolute
God.
Chaos everywhere. It might be a lobby I think this is a lobby restart. I don't think, which is always fun, lobby restarts, because you see absolute chaos, and hopefully Kato will go straight on to Seal.
Yep, it is a red flag.
Absolutely destroy anyone in front of him.
Yeah. Michael Bassing has thrown the red flag. I'm not sure what's going on. There was a tire bug. So I think a few drivers started the race with cold tires and other drivers had warm tires, which is quite unfortunate. It's a very unfair advantage, so we will be restarting based on the qualifying grid with no formation lap. So hopefully everyone will be able to adapt to that. Of course, starting on cold tires is quite difficult, so we'll come back to you in a few moments once the lobby gets
still can chat.
Reset.
We'll just still chat about that start, which was a bit chaotic, but for people that don't know, there's a small bug that even if you do disqualify, you may have tires that are cold, which are not meant to be a thing. And if you have tires that are cold, it's very difficult to fight in that pack. So some people had the bug that was meant to be fixed, where after a formation lap, they had cold tires, so that may have been what caused that incident that we saw. The Alpine going into the wall. So it's a good thing for a few people, especially the people that may have lost a few front wings and been in a bit of an accident, because the grid will just be a complete reset.
I think it's quite shocking when you just don't have the grip off the line that you're expecting. You've warmed your tires up to 95 degrees and they're 70,
especially if you
so
don't
you've
notice
lost 25
in the first
degrees
corner.
of temperature. Oh yeah, so you brake as normal, but you just lock up This is the elite division for those who are new. If you're unaware, the only assists allowed in this division are corners only, racing line, and ABS. But even though they are on, we have a lot of drivers running no assists. So starting the race with cold tires is going to be quite difficult because you will lock up if you brake as normal going into turn 1, which is what might have happened a few times. We saw a few drivers spin out of turn 2. So if you're unaware, which I'm sure a few drivers were, then it can catch you out and you will have a very hard time. But luckily, they're all going to be aware now. We're going to start from the quali grid. There will be no formation lap. So if any drivers are listening, there's no formation lap. So hopefully everyone's going to have a level playing field. Of course, everyone has to adapt to that with no practice. So
Do you know with formation lap? No formation lap you start on 70, don't you?
yes, that's correct. The tire blankets in real life are set to 70 degrees. Last season and in game, they were set to 100 degrees. So you'd start off with nice, warm green tires. But in real life and in the game, the temperature you start on is 70 degrees.
Might end off
So
with more carnage. I don't have
there
enough.
might be more carnage.
Yeah.
But at least we're prepared for it this time. I think a few of
More
the drivers
carnage,
again
more entertainment, cold breaks.
were not expecting it.
Well, might as well. While we have the time, we have a bit of downtime to another ad read. If you don't know, and you missed at the very start of the stream, if you subscribe for the month of August, you go into the draw to win 3 $50 Steam vouchers. In my opinion, very good odds. Because definitely better odds than most giveaways you'll find. So it'll be drawn at the end of the month. I'm not sure at what point it'll be drawn, but I'm sure it'll be during a race weekend after the month of August. If you want to be into the draw, hit that sub button. And if you don't want to sub, you can always follow. So races are on. You can have a quick look at the calendar. Next week, we also discussed at the beginning of the stream, be Spa, which will be a sprint race. So if people don't know, and we're late to the stream, sprint race, we basically we don't do qualifying. We reverse the top 10 in the championship standings. So top 10, so 10 becomes first, and first become 10th, just like in F2 after their qualifying. Swap it around. And at the moment, points are looking like this, with Zakov getting all of his points by winning every single main race or feature race. So we had a sprint race and also in Bahrain, which he did not get any points in the sprint, but he came back to win it. And has won our other sessions as well, because it is week 5. People you want to look out for would be Deku, Gez, CJM, Spliff, and Zay, because they are all fighting to not be in the 11th place for next week, because that will put you in a bad position for qualifying, having to make you out 10 positions. I think it's safe to say Zakov will be starting 10th next week. You've got Vlad, Kebab, and Ekim also up the top, fighting for that second place in the championship. Dutch also fighting for it. Got Crush just a bit behind that other 4. Yeah, so we're definitely seeing a bit of a pack forming. Driver standings. Go to the team standings. We have Red Bull storming off in the lead with the help of Zakov's 100 points. Then you have Williams in P2 with 71 points. Ferrari and Aston Martin and Alpine and Mercedes having a close battle for 3rd. And McLaren, AlphaTauri and Haas fighting for 7th. And then Alfa Romeo at the back. Still got time to make up some gains and get off that bottom floor, because I don't think that wooden spoon.
It's never over till it's over. And
Nope.
I think we saw last season with a few of the teams that started towards the bottom in the first half of the season.
By the
They
way,
had
Rare,
a turnaround towards the second half of the season.
don't forget to select spectator mode. That would be disastrous.
What if I want to drive? I want to test my skills in Elite, but I will select spectator mode.
I mean, I know there's one person in the chat which we all want to see go up against the elite guys, but refuses. Hazza. We all want to see him go up against elite drivers.
That would be
Test
fun
of
to
skill
watch.
we all want to see. Hopefully, yeah, in the future.
He was last season's Division 3 champion in novice. Is my prediction to become this year's Division 2 champion in Prodigy. But next season, I think it's going to be. I think he's definitely going to be up there fighting for the title, but it will be harder because of the caliber of drivers in Elite. But I think Taza is still very capable of doing it. He's shown rapid pace. I think he's held 1 or 2 world records before at the point. So I cannot wait to see him racing on Thursdays. That would be fun. And as a Prodigy driver myself, fighting for a win, hopefully
You
at
want him
some
out of your
point.
division.
I do want him out. I would love
Yeah.
it if he was in the league. If any of the admins are listening, if he could move him up by next week, that would be great. That would be fun. I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't complain.
News coming in from the Discord chat. From Bassink, where next season you can race in Elite. Congratulations, we're
I'm
announced
in
already.
Elite next season.
Yeah,
I don't
congratulations.
think that's correct. So
Yep. No, forced you on to no TC. Plan.
I'd like to announce my retirement from racing immediately.
No TC. I'll be honest, I gave it a go for the first 2 races, and then in Bahrain, there was a patch right after the sprint, or just before, and I gave up and went medium TC and got 4th. So I think I might be sticking with medium TC for a while and improve my racecraft.
Yep.
But
It's
you
always
in
good
Div
to
2,
improve it.
yeah, but in you Div 2, I think you've got the racecraft to go to no. But at least
I think
attempt
you're
it.
right.
Attempt it next season. Come on. At least attempt
Probably-
go no TC.
Probably attempt it next race.
Announce
I'm not
it.
even going to wait till
Oh.
next season.
Heard
So,
it here
Belgium-
first, ladies and gentlemen. We're going no TC.
Please don't clip that. That's probably already going to be clipped, but no guarantees.
It's going to be clipped. No, we're announcing it here right now. Next week, the Great We're no TC race off. Advertise it, put it everywhere. It's going to be great.
I expect at least 10 spins. So this is your doing, Prodigy. If I spin into you, this is your doing. I don't want to hear any
This is the greatest announcement we've
complaints.
ever announced on this Twitch channel. Gonna have
Unfortunately-
everyone excited. Everyone. Better than the marble race to do the liveries in season 3. The best.
The timer is going down rapidly and there is no formation up. So
He did confirm at SGN. He said he's gonna go no TC next week. Yep. It's everyone's minds are completely blown. As I do not believe we have a formation lap. Oh, it looks like we might actually.
nope,
Nope.
it's lights out and away
It's
we
lights
go.
out and away we go. Everyone on cold tires. So far, looking good. As there's a few overtakes into the first corner, but nothing major. Nobody really dying, as it were.
Everyone is
Somewhat
alive.
clean, except for Combat Rat, who's taking up the rear, which may have been just a bit of, he may have lost a bit of a wing. Pick on him in a bit. As some people are forced wide, which looks like another Haas, which is not good for the Haases. So far,
I'm just. Oh, there's a big incident at the back. The 2 houses are involved. Sorry, there was a Ferrari. There was a Haas involved, I believe. So the Ferrari is at the back now. I'm not sure what happened there. There's a gap between Apex and Kata, so there might have been a collision. One of them might have damage, but it's a train all the way up from P12 right now. So everyone's still alive. Zako's pulling a bit of a gap, probably using a bit of his battery to try and break DRS as soon as possible, because the DRS and slipstream are very powerful here when you're running very low wings. So he's going to want to do that as soon as possible. But of course, the drivers behind are not just going to sit back and watch. They're going to see Zak overhead. They're going to see the Oracle Red Bull rear wing and just be motivated to try and get that win. But starting lap 2, Zakov is still in P1. Joshua Taylor P2, Gears P3, Distale P4, so he's lost 2 positions. Crush P5, Spliff P6, he's up 2 positions. Deku and Kebab are P7 and 8, but there's a bit of an incident again at the back. I think Frozel has gone round, not sure what's happened there. He's stopped at the start of the straight. Impulse has made up no position actually. He was just about to say he's overtaken, but he's 12th, right in the slipstream of Zay, so he's probably going to want to make a move in a few corners time. But I'm impressed. I think given what we saw in the last lobby, everyone's done pretty well on the cold tires. They've kept it clean, they've started, they've warmed their tires up. Impulse is about to go for a move on Zay. Zay goes defensive, into turn 7, but it's a very hard corner to overtake. But he's going to get the slipstream all the way through sector 2. I think it's going to be an easy pass if he just chooses to use a better battery, which he does. He's on 55% and dropping.
As the inside line of the far chicane, which is what you want. Not
So
really much
he's
resistance from Zay.
that is correct. I think Zay knows that's not his battle. His impulse is very rapid. He does go wide, almost loses the car, but he's making up the positions. We know how quick he is, so he's probably going to be on Dutchy's tail in a few laps time, if not a few corners time. But Zakov,
Away by 2 seconds already as we have a battle for second. With Kebab also backing Deku as well. As if we have a quick look at the tyres as well, for the important thing. Note.
would be important, but I think a few drivers have stopped to change their wing, so a few of the tires might have changed from the start.
It's
Just
rough
like in
if
the
you're on
first
the
lobby.
hards, you have to change your wing early on because you only got one set of mediums.
That
one
is
set of
true.
hards.
But if there is another safety car, if there is another incident, you can stop and use the hard tires. They've only done 1 lap. There was no formation lap, so there's going to be barely any wear on them. So they're not written off just yet. So no surprise, the top 13 are on the mediums. Apex is on hards, keeping within Ekam's DRS. So the hard runners, well, there's only just one in the DRS train, but he's going to want to stay in the DRS of the mediums, because that's just going to gain you so much race time. And then towards the end of the medium stint, when he has the grip advantage, he's going to want to make the moves, stay out, and we might see Apex leading if he keeps it neat and tidy, given the long pit stop.
Right now we're
But
just
it's pretty
following
tidy.
along with gears. Seeing what these front pack can do. So far everyone's pretty content. There isn't really much overtakes going on.
I think they know the race is won on the last lap. So we saw on Tuesday in the novice race, there was an Aston Martin car, I believe it was Wawa Wabzi, fighting quite immensely with Joe, I believe it was, on lap 2. And what ended up happening is that they lost a lot of time to P1, and I think it was Shanuti who just absolutely pulled away and won that race. It was a masterclass of the drive, made no mistakes, was perfect on strategy, but he was helped quite a lot by the guys in P2 and P3 fighting in the first few laps. But in the lead, they're keeping it neat and tidy. They're not fighting too hard right now. Gers is taking a peek at Joshua Taylor. I think he wants to get a move done, probably lining up an attack into the DRS zone, but Joshua had to go defensive, which will compromise his line. Gers has the battery deployed, he has the DRS, he touches the grass. Not sure if he's going to want to go down the inside.
Going for that switchback. As the inside line going into the corner, side by side. Joshua Taylor gives up the position.
It's a great overtake. But
Looks
still
like he's
sees
going
that
to
and has a
lose
look.
2 as well, and Crush is also going to have a look. As he spuns and hits into Crush, Crush is spun. He's going to go falling back. You don't want to drive back too much, Crush, because you might get disqualified.
He's just
alright,
off your
bro.
screen, but Joshua Taylor spun in exactly the same way, and he's got damage. He's going into the pit, so they're not going to be very happy. Reynolds is right, they're going to be fuming. Not sure what happened there. I'll probably wait to see the replays after the race. Don't want to speculate or assign blame.
It looks
This
like
early on.
this or was it Joshua Taylor? One of the two. I think it was Joshua Taylor. Spun. It was Joshua Taylor, yeah, because he's getting overtaken by the McLaren.
You know what, Spliff, who's right behind Deku. Deku, who has quite a lot less battery than Spliff, probably juicing to try and make that move earlier on, but Spliff is patient, he's not using his battery. Probably just going to want to wait it out for a few laps and be patient with it, because obviously there are quite a few laps left, so there's no rush. He's just going to patiently sit in the DRS, see what happens.
Well, if you missed it in the Twitch chat, it's been confirmed that if you do not do no TC, you will get penalised by the FIA.
I'd like to see that in the rulebook. Ooh,
I'm sure it can
getting a
be
bit
added.
squirrely. I think Spliff has seen that. He's going to not use the battery.
Definitely
Deku
try
does,
and
though. I
make a
think he
move.
wants to stay ahead.
Maybe Spliff is just trying to get him to use as much as possible. But Spliff really needs to start making the move now because Kebab is now behind him as well. The basing confirms it's been added to the rulebook.
Well, yeah, no promises. I'm just saying it's my aim to do that by next week, but
It's a
I'm not
promise.
relevant. We're watching racing here, guys, so
As Spliff now makes the move up the inside into the far chicane. He's going to have the inside line. He's going to get the move done here. But definitely some nice close pack racing between these 4 drivers now. Because Val is now on the back of it. Impulse is now up to P8. As we can
Yeah,
take
he
a
is one
look
to
at
watch.
the positions gained. And of course, as I thought, it's Impulse up 9 places. Ekim up 8. Apex up 6. Spliff up 4. Gears up 3. As Kebab tries to go around the outside of Deku. Drag race down to turn 1 as we see Impulse into the wall out of the final corner.
that's unfortunate. That is
As
unlucky. I think he might
Kebab
have been
takes
just
a
too
long
eager on
way
the power.
around. Deku has DRS but no ERS. Kebab keeps him behind. As Dutchie's now also chasing down Val. Apex with a 3-second time penalty. I do want to add there's a little bit of a bug on some corners that you can get an instant 3-second penalty. I've seen it with a few drivers this week. So even if some people have a 3-second penalty, they might be able to get that removed. So
I think it's turn 4 that's quite
Yeah.
buggy.
So it's important to remember that when it comes to closing races and due to the penalties. Because there may still
Yeah.
be some people fighting.
Just some information on that. In the race yesterday, I was ahead of 3-3 Evis. He had 9 seconds of penalties, so I decided to stop for softs and get the fastest lap, which I did end up getting. But I forgot about the bug, so I thought that it'd be 9 seconds ahead, but he got 6 seconds removed.
Unfortunate.
I was just within the 3 second to get the position back, but if I had known about the bug, I probably wouldn't have risked it. So time penalties are not final on this track. I think you're going to see a lot of FIA involvement in getting them removed. So it's pretty tidy at the moment. I think Impulse's boxer changed his wing. I wouldn't be surprised to see him retire, but I don't think any of the drivers should retire. I think anything can happen. Yep, he goes onto the soft, so I think he's going to have a short stint on them. Anything can happen. Could be a safety car in the next 2 laps. Could be a safety car in the next 2 seconds. But I think you should always stay on track. Don't give up. See what comes of it. So
Too wide between Val and Dutchie. Continue too wide for the whole of the second sector, but Dutch is going to have the inside line coming to the far chicane. Val's going to have to slot him behind. He wants to probably just live in that situation. But good racing between these two. Who can get the better exit? They're both going to have DRS because Deku is in front of Dutch. Hopefully this racing continues in a calm and clean manner so we have some entertainment.
no DNF so far, so that's pretty good. I think this is the only race to not have any DNFs by lap 9. Elite Division, everyone. Best drivers, at
As
least
we
in theory.
see Deku spinning out of the final corner. Luckily he spins out of everyone's way.
Oh dear. Just as I say that, this is the best division. Deku spins.
I think that might be a little bit of a caster curse coming out. There's been quite a few of that. Stream cursing, caster curse.
I think they're
this
the most
race.
guilty.
Yeah. Uncanny knack of doing it. See who I predict. Go out next. If I had to predict anyone to make a mistake. Oh. I'll go Apex. As I think we see a bits of wing flying, which might have been a bit of a visual glitch with the camera, or what happened there.
Bab has made a move on Spliff, I believe. Nope, that was just an issue of the game, but Spliff is going quite slowly. I think he might have damage. He's lost his wing. I'm not entirely sure
That's
how
where the
that's happened.
flying. That's where the flying wing in the start of sector 2 was.
Yep,
He
that was a
has
good catch.
no wing.
I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe he just touched the wall on the side, but he's going to be in the pits probably for the hard tire. Impulse has spun. So he's having a bit of a mare of a race. I think he was just pushing too hard on the softs out of turn 5, I think it was. So that's unfortunate. I think he's going to have to stop for a new set of tires. So spliff boxes. Probably going to go to the end on those hards. It's unfortunate. He's gotten quite unlucky with incidents in the first couple of races. So we're not entirely sure what's happened there. Hopefully he does stay in the race and not retire. Deku's in the pits as well. I think that might be damage as well. He did spin at the end of the last lap.
Put tyres, both are possible.
Yep.
His Impulse has another 3-second time penalty on a cutting. We can have a look at the penalties. As I go to penalties, Aziko gets a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, I think a lot of the drivers are pushing the limits of the track limits to gain as much time as possible, but of course this is the race. You don't want to push too hard every lap like qualifying, because you end up making unforced errors or picking up time penalties. But again, as mentioned earlier, there's a bug at turn 4 which could give you as much as 7 warnings in one invalidation, so time penalties could change at any moment. Impulse unfortunately is lapped, so if a safety car does come out, he's going to be in a very awkward position where he's not allowed to race anyone. So that's always unfortunate. We know Impulse is a very fast driver. No one wants to see anyone getting lapped because everyone loves to watch good racing. Zay has triggered undercuts. I think he's just gone into the pits now. Not sure if that's damage based or if he just... Nope, it's not damage based. That's his strategy. He's boxing now, going for the early undercut. The hards can go to the end. There's barely any drop off. So I think the other drivers ahead are probably going to see that and want to react to that move, but he's going to have cold tires. He's going to be very, very slow on the outlap.
And Zakov's had a very lonely race.
Someone get him a newspaper.
Yeah. Been in the interview box so many times, it might start to get boring pretty soon.
I think he gets tired of asking the same questions. Prozel has DNF'd. He's crashed at turn 4.
That
think
has
that might
brought
be a
out
bit
the
of a
safety
spin.
car. That has brought out the safety car.
Yeah, that's very unlucky for Zay. If only he stayed out one more lap. But I think I'm going to see everyone on the mediums coming into the box. I don't think the hard runners that haven't stopped are going to come in because, I mean, 18 laps, 17 laps on the mediums is going to be, oh, excuse me, it's going to be quite hard.
It's unfortunate for Zay.
It is.
Say that.
But good news for Impulse. He gets to unlap himself. So hopefully the safety car does let him go through. Obviously, there is a safety car on track, so you don't want to overtake that and get yourself disqualified. But if the lights are green, he's going to get that unlapping done, which they are. So he's going to be able to rejoin the race. He's probably going to slap on a set of hard tires and join from the back. It's not an ideal situation for him, but it's better than being lapped. So unsurprisingly, everyone's in the pits. No time penalties for speeding so far, so luckily they've gotten their braking points correct. Ooh.
He's made up just a few positions as well. The early pit did not help him though. But that's the risk you take trying to do an undercut.
I think Zay probably couldn't have done anything else at that point. I think he has a net gain, but he does have one lap. It is one outlap, however, with a safety car in the middle, but he's going to have a tiny bit more wear. But I don't think Zay is going to be too mad at where he's come out, so all's good. I think it's going to be interesting to see how Zakov does the restart and how Destale and Gears put pressure on him. I think Zakov has handled restarts quite well before, but Destale, he had a full battery, so he was not pushing before the safety car. But now he's going to see their opportunity. He's going to want to try and get moves done as soon as possible, because if Zakov breaks the RS, I think that's it, and he's going to have Gears behind him otherwise. So Zakov, Destale, Gears, and Kebab are going to love this restart.
Doesn't pit. Combat Rat and Joshua Taylor also have softs.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. The softs are not going to do anything.
Maybe trying to make as much position as possible.
I think they're banking on another safety car, which I don't think will happen. Without any
Seeing as
major
everyone's now
collisions.
bunched up, it's not impossible.
Not impossible, but definitely difficult. I think they're going to have a hard time having to box and catch up with the safety car before it comes in. But I think Apex is going to be one to watch, and mediums have significantly more grip than the hards, especially at this stage of the race. So I think he's going to be eager to make up some positions and try and stay within someone's DRS on the hard tire. Because once you do have the DRS as a medium runner, or if you're on a softer compound, you can maintain pace for quite a long time and possibly even go to the end if you're a tire whisperer. So we'll see how that goes. I think Ezekiel's coming to the pits to change his wing. He's on 11 lap old mediums. I'm not sure if you can see that or if that's a bug from me, but if he is on 11 lap old mediums, that means that he probably stopped under safety car and got
I
damage.
can see that. Alright.
He's unlucky. I think everyone has made their pit stop so far, so I think it's going to be the restart order for the remaining laps. So see what happens. I think it's going to be tight to see if they catch up before the safety car comes in. Who do you think is going to have a great restart? What do you think is going to happen?
I think Zakov's going to get away, and I think it will be a interesting fight between Gears, Dutchy, Kebab, and Val, and Ekim. It's been pretty much a fight all between them, and then the underdog in the situation is definitely going to be Apex.
Apex, absolutely. He's got a brand new wheel. He's got a new direct drive wheel, so he's going to be feeling confident. He's going to be on the I forget which it is. Is it prime or option tire? That's the softer one.
Kebab gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Now, if that is an error, and he doesn't have to pit again, which he won't under these tyres unless there is a mistake, he will be able to get that removed.
That is correct. Impulse was stopped inside of the track. I think there might be a few issues with some drivers making some overtakes, so see what happens. I think he's going to box again. Yeah, he is. Impulse is going to box again. I think he recognizes the soft tire is not the one to be on, and I agree. So everyone on the softs and the medium is going to come in for a fresher set of tires, which is the right move. I think staying out on those tires would not be ideal.
Coming in for some fresh hards. Maybe he just wanted to extend the life of the tyres.
I think that's a smart move.
Safety car will be coming in this lap, so they do have to, as Impulse crosses the white line on the exit.
Ooh, I think he just spun on throttle there, so I don't think that's intentional.
Nope.
I think the stewards will have a look at that though, because crossing the line on pit exit is heavily frowned down upon. Lord Basink will come down upon you with the banhammer, so that will be looked at.
Overlord of the ARL, Lord Basink, the third.
Who was 1 and 2?
I don't know. There was 2 and they're like hidden agendas. Well, there's Recon, who is currently was in chat before. I don't know if he's still here, but
Recon's up in the bush. He left us 2 seasons ago to go on a venture around Australia, which was always fun. But he always checks in, says hi in chat. So if you're listening, Recon, hello. Can't wait to see you back on the field. The safety car is in this lap. Zakov is giving it a good gap so he can restart whenever he wants to. He could go early like the Aston Martins love to do in the other categories, or he could go late. So, sorry, I said the wrong way around. The Astons love to go late. He could go early, so let's see what happens. 15 laps of racing left. I think he's just gone now, so Zakov's gotten good traction. He's got good warm tires. The still is dropping back, so maybe he wasn't expecting it that early. Gears has put him under pressure. Dutchy's willing to get some temperature into the tires. Of course, there are on hard tires, which are the hardest compound to warm up. But it's all clean, no position changes so far. Apex is visibly faster than the car ahead on those softer compound tires. Impulse has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
And he's in.
I think he's spun as well.
Yes, he has.
That's not what you want to see. I think he just went on the overtake a bit too early. So it's very unlike Impulse to spin like that so many times. Hopefully he is back next week for another attempt because everyone has a bad race once in a while. But
Moss
it's
gets
all
another
clean.
3-second time penalty.
Zakov is out of the crucial 1 second DRS marker, so I think that's just still dumping his battery to try to get back into it. Apex though is right up the back of the Williams wing.
And then Williams is up the back of the Ferrari.
Apex gets a good exit. He's not gonna go for it though. Sorry, I'm not sure what's happening with my tongue right now, but
As Impulse gets another 3-second time penalty, he might be coming into the pits to retire. As Apex gets past Dickham into the first corner. As expected.
not much Dickham can do on those harder tires.
As Impulse comes into the pits, presumably, and he does.
That's unfortunate. You get him next time, Impulse. But everyone is pretty close. The field is looking quite tight. It does look a bit like PSGL when everyone's in the DRS train, just pulling each other along, waiting for the mistake to happen ahead. But Zakov is the first car to break DRS. I think Deku is just pushing the limits, trying to get back into the DRS of Zay, who has 1 lap younger tires, and that can actually be quite a difference. That 2 or 3%, because this game is quite unpredictable with the traction, so having no tire wear is always beneficial. But it's tidy, not much happening. I think everyone's just buying themselves a ticket to the last few laps.
Yep, it's just a little bit of a watch along. Even yawning.
Also, you are in New Zealand though, so it is quite late.
It is 11 PM, that is true.
DRS enabled. So it's hard to see overtaking become easier.
In DRS, what can you do with it? The whole top 4 now separated by a second, except for Gears. Try and keep within that DRS of the McLaren ahead of him. Apex though, definitely the would be my pick for the next overtake of the race if I had to put points on it.
Yeah, he just got so much more grip on the cars ahead, and I think he has the same amount of battery, so cars are equal, of course. That's pretty obvious. You can see a Haas in P7 and the McLaren in P2, so just the tires that were separating the drivers takes it a bit risky on the curb, cutting quite a lot, which can spin you, but he's too far back to get a move on Vlad, who has DRS as well. So it is hard to overtake if everyone has DRS ahead of you. In my opinion, there's nothing worse than being third in the DRS train because you're just stuck. Someone's gone round, not sure who it is.
Sector 3, it looks like Deku's gone round in Sector 3. Isn't out of the race, but he has to wait for everyone to go past before he can make a move to make it back onto the track. That'll be the tyres being absolutely cooked. As Joshua Taylor makes my prediction incorrect and becomes the next on-track overtake.
I think there's a good scrap going on with the back. There might not be any points. For those who are watching who are new, the point system in this league is similar to what we have in F1 in real life. So 25 for first place, 1 point for 10th place. But we do have 2 points for fastest lap. So any driver that does get the fastest lap and finish in the top 10 will get an extra 2 points, which is always a benefit given how close the championships are. I think Deku's made another spin in Sector 2, so I think that's him
not having a good time on those tyres.
And there's not much he can do. Fortunately, you only have 1 set of hard, 1 set of mediums, and 2 sets of soft.
As Memphis goes off after an overtake by Joshua into the wall. Out of that corner. Didn't look anything to untoward, just got into the power a bit too early by the looks of it. The battle for third place. Definitely heating up a bit.
I think it's going to be a very good battle. We know Dutchy is very quick, very smooth on the wheel. He's aggressive in terms of his overtakes, but he is fair as well. So he's going to want to make a move in Kebab, and Gears is going to want to just keep them at an arm's length because he knows the DRS is powerful, the slipstream is powerful. Kebab will be gaining all the time, even if he doesn't use his battery, just because of the increased power of slipstream in this game. In F121, it was not very powerful, but in this game, you will start to gain time from around 5 tenths back. It will feel faster as well, so I'm a big fan of it. I prefer having lots of pure racing, lots of slipstream. Eku has retired in the pits, unfortunately, so I think if he made another pit stop, he would have done that. So that's unfortunate, but there's always next week, there's always the next race, so if he just puts in some practice, he'll probably have a good result, because he has
His
been in good
AI
form.
will be coming out onto the track though.
That is something to watch out for. Yep, it will be on the racing line, so hopefully Zakov, Distel, and Gare see that and take avoiding action. Ooh, Distel is going to lose a lot of time with that. He's going to lose a really, really big chunk of time. He's lost over a second and increasing to Zakov because he had to leave space on the inside to not get a collision.
And if you
So
don't
that's
know,
gonna be...
you are responsible for your own AI. So even though Eku is not on the AI at that point, he may be held accountable. That will be up for the FIA to decide.
I'm not sure there's much Deku could do. He did all the right things by the rulebook. He retired in pits, but unfortunately the AI drove him back out onto the circuit. So it is unfortunate, but not much anyone can do in that situation. The still will have to be fuming that he's lost so much time out of no fault of his own. So I think Zakov's going to be able to breathe slightly easier now. Now that the still is not gaining as much time, but the still is pretty quick. He's at least new to me. I'm not sure if he was in the league before I joined, but he's giving Zakov a good run for his money. He almost loses it just as I say that. So the Kastikas is strong. He's been keeping up with Zakov, so I think the next couple of races in the league are going to be very interesting, seeing how they race each other, because Zakov's not had much of a challenge in the last few races, but it's looking like the drivers are stepping up to the plate and are able to bring the fight to him. So I think at the moment it's going to be difficult for Distel to get a better result than what he has now because of the time penalty, because of the gap to Zakov, and the fact that he's faster than the car behind. So I think he's going to have very boring next couple of laps as he just tries to bring it home. Joshua Taylor is picking up loads of penalties, but that was at turn 2, so I think that might be legit. I think he's going to drop quite a few places when the race is done, unfortunately. Kebab
Points as well.
just sitting behind Gers, patient, not juicing, not in a hurry to get ahead of him. I think he's also buying a ticket at the last couple of laps, which is what I like to say. The race is not won on lap 1 or 2, it's won on the last lap. As Verstappen fans know from last season. I'm a Hamilton fan, full disclosure, so I was sitting pretty and ready to celebrate the 8th world title, but unfortunately the racing gods wouldn't have it. So Verstappen did win the race, he did win the championship, and if everyone keeps that same mentality, it's not over till it's over, I think anything's possible. So it could be a bunch of laps, bunch of incidents in the next couple of laps that allow the order to change. But Apex is stuck behind in this train of cars. As I said, at this level where everyone's making so few mistakes and you're just able to sit in DRS, it's very difficult to make up moves. So I think his tire advantage will start to wear off as the crossover between hards and mediums should be just around now. There is, it has been 10 laps that have all been on the tires, so he's doing the best he can. Not much he can do in the circumstances, but
well, so far, many overtakes, but it is getting closer and closer.
it is. It's a spinner. I think it's Zico.
It is Zico.
Combarat just avoids him. So I'm going to be brave and predict no more retirements. At least not any crash-related DNF. So I think everyone's going to be just patiently waiting. There's a bit of downtime here. Everyone's just, I think, recharging, recalibrating. and just relaxing. Not much to fight for. And as I say that, Spliff makes an overtake on Joshua Taylor. That was very clean. I'm not sure if you caught that on stream, but Spliff is up one position. He's going to have to defend though, because Joshua Taylor is going to have DRS. He does have not a lot of battery, but he does have a DRS. And here in Australia, there's one DRS detection zone for 2 DRS zones. He's going to go down the inside of turn 1. Let's see if it's clean. He does leave space on the outside for him. Takes the position back easily. I think Spliff knew not to fight that. But he's going to keep the position and collect the advantage of the DRS into turn 3. But I don't think Spliff is going to just sit down and take it. He's going to be looking at that and seeing the flashing red light behind the Mercedes. Spliff has quite a lot more battery, so I think he's just going to be patient, see what comes of it. I'm not entirely sure what setup he's running. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you, because I'm a Red Bull driver, so I think it's going to be interesting to see how this small scrap plays out.
Definitely. Is getting even more closer between Dutch, Kebab and Gears. Slowly but surely, as the race progresses. Dutch definitely just hanging back and waiting. Is also hanging back and waiting because he hasn't used much ERS. He's actually gained some of the past few laps too.
Yeah, I think they're all just saving except Kebab, who's juicing quite a lot. I think maybe he wants to try and force Gears into areas, but Gears is usually quite calm under pressure. I think anyone can get the last podium place here. I don't think the penalties are going to be final. I think Kebab's going to get a 5-second penalty removed for the overtake, and we're not sure how many warnings they've all gotten given the bug. So the fight for the podium is on. So if I was Dutchy, if I was Vlad, I wouldn't just sit back and wait for the penalties to get me onto the podium. I think I'd have to try and make the overtakes on track because you never know what could happen. So hopefully they're driving with that in mind.
This Kebab is now as close as he has ever been. Looking to get a good exit out of the far chicane. Can't get it done though. Yes, better exit out of that far chicane. If you can do that, then not much else everyone can do to get past you.
But Zakov was only 3/10 back. He's going to have the benefit of DRS. So, oh, Gers almost loses. That's going to set up Kebab quite well. They make a bit of contact going onto the final straight. Gers goes defensive, but Kebab is getting pushed all the way into the pit wall. This is great racing. Gers just slots in behind and Kebab makes that position. It was not an easy overtake. Gers did not just sit down and take it, but he's going to have the benefit of the DRS, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dutchy is going to want to have a look as well. But the slipstream is powerful. Gers tries to fight back, but he's just going to have to back out and wait for another opportunity. It was a really good overtake by Kebab. There's a bit of contact.
There's a bit of contact. Dutch is going to go around the outside. Give him a little bit of room, but not much. Squiggly through that corner. It looks like an end plate. Someone has definitely lost an end plate there. It doesn't look like it's...
I'm not sure who's taken damage.
It might have been Val because he is losing time. He's lost an end plate because of that scuffle. That wasn't really his fault. It was more of a bystander than anything.
But I think that's just pushed Dutchy out of the DRS.
Ekin gets forced wide after going too wide to the far chicane.
That's gonna...
Zay fight as well. And maybe that Apex has got a bit of damage too.
I think I saw a bit of carbon flying up into the air, so it's heating up. It's heating up towards the last couple laps. Lap 26 of 29. I think this is when you're going to see drivers start making the moves, the business end of the race.
comes into the pits, which he'll be disappointed by. There's definitely a bit of FIA handling that's going to be needed for the incident. We'll follow along Gears. This is the place for 4th place. No other close battles, and this is definitely one of the most interesting ones.
It is quite close, but I think Dutchy is not going to be happy with the fact that he's lost DRS, because that's just going to put him out of reach of Kebab if the penalties are removed. So he's going to want to keep Gears behind. Gears has a 3-second penalty, which might be legit, but again, we don't know where he picked them up, so those could be removed. Any of these penalties could be removed. So I think winning on track or finishing in a higher track position on track is what matters.
But I think there'll definitely be some incidents that will be looked at.
I think there's a great scrap going on for P6 right now. Apex is having a look at the Alpine, trying to line up a move. I think he's managing well on those older tires.
Yep. Gears definitely stuck in the middle. And a car that wants to overtake and the car that he wants to overtake is not being let by. Someone off in sector 3, like Memphis and Val, trying to fight each other as teammates.
But on track, Dutchy is going side by side with Gears. Gears just backs out. I think he learned from the last lap that going side by side into turn 5 is not ideal. So he's just going to sit back, and I think Apex is sitting back and watching, seeing them fight and hoping he can pick up a few positions. I think Dutch is going to have to defend because Gears is gaining in the slipstream. He's not using his battery, but the slipstream is more powerful. So overtaking into the chicane isn't a terribly good idea. Dutch is going to defend. Doesn't have to defend too hard because Gears backs out, but he's going to get DRS. It's very risky with the curbs. I personally wouldn't do that at risk of spinning, but then again, that might be a skill issue. Dutch is very aware of Gears.
As Joshua Taylor spun out of the chicane, looks like there's also a Spliff and Joshua Taylor have spun, which may bring Cato into the mix. He might be able to get that 10th place, and then another fight brewing back there. But definitely the one we want to look at as Dutch almost loses it out of the final corner, leaves an open door for Gears to make a move, as Dutch also cut across the Haas.
I think
And
Ekim has just seen what's happened and taken the position.
Ekim's seen all this going on, is like, I want a piece of this.
Yeah, through goes Ekim. Just like Hamilton in Silverstone, through goes Ekim. So he's seen the two fighting and just found a gap and gone for it. Val has taken the fastest lap point, but he's not gonna. Just a small correction there, sorry. Val has taken the fastest lap, but he's not going to get any points for that because you only get fastest lap for finishing in the top 10. But the last few laps are heating up.
Take it away from his competitors.
That is correct. I'm not sure who Ferrari are fighting in the championship. That's not slander. That's just I'm not aware of where they are in the standings. But that point robbery could help out towards the end of the season when the championships are being wrapped up. But everyone is getting a bit feisty with their defenses. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 car battle for P5. So I won't be surprised if we see Dutchy, who has DRS and a battery advantage, just send it into turn 1, try get that P4 on track. So we'll watch this keenly. He is juicing, but I think so is Gez. Gez has a bit of battery saved up, and I don't think he's going to have to go defensive into turn 1. The gap is just a bit too big, but Ekim is watching behind Dutchy, so Dutchy's going to have to worry about defending here, not just attacking. But Ekim has very low batteries, just on 5%. I think he's just going to have to wait for the long straight, but I think Dutchy's going to absolutely dump the battery and probably gain a position. My prediction is that Dutchy will probably take the position from Gale in the next couple of corners, but we'll see what happens. I think everyone's just a bit too far apart to make the overtakes happen.
He is absolutely juicy on 6% ERS, with Dutchy still on 40. But managed to keep impressive speed with having so low ERS.
I think this is the last opportunity to overtake with DRS, but he's just out of reach, Gez. I think he's driven absolutely perfectly under the pressure.
Impressive amount of speed.
Absolutely. But to round off the Australian Grand Prix, Zakov crosses the line to win by 3.1 seconds. The still comes on second, and it's only his second race in ARL, but that's a strong second race for him. He takes P2. Kebab sends it into the pit wall, takes P3. Luckily, he crossed the line before sending it. Gers takes P4 on track, but there's going to be a few. Actually, I'm not sure who finished where right now because of the time penalties, because everything has been jumbled up, but it's been quite a good race. The last few laps were entertaining. You see the last few cars come across the line. I think Dutchy and Eckham are probably going to move down a few positions after the FIA gets involved, given the buggy penalties, but that is it for the Australian Grand Prix.
I think driver of the day has to be Eckham. Came out of nowhere from being disqualified to P4.
I agree.
They're both Williams driver really, because Crush had an incident too, didn't he?
I think Crush should have an incident, so.
But he's now in P6, so they've definitely done a good comeback drive together.
Yeah.
Who gets driver of the day?
It's going to be Eckham, no doubt about that. 15 positions. It's going to be Eckham.
There you go. It's Eckham. Not much of a surprise for anyone.
That was a great race. I think the last few laps were entertaining. I think my highlight of that race was probably the 3 wide. I think it was at some point.
I think that whole race, that battle at the end was pretty decent, but your finishing order is Zakov, Stali, sorry if I butcher that, Dutch, Eckham, Gears, Crush, Apex, Zay, Kebab, Kato, Spliff. Kato managed to overtaking Spliff at the end there, maybe because of the racing penalty that may get removed. Vlad, Val, Aziko, Memphis, Joshua Taylor, Combat Rat, Deku, Impulse, and Frozzle. The race director, just very quickly, just so all drivers have it. Because I think a lot of people are going to need it. As
that
Impulse,
is quite a long race to
there's a Deku and Impulse, just a wall of their names.
The Great Wall of Impulse.
The Great Wall of Impulse and Deku. Oh.
I have to admit, I'm the one of the FIA stewards for Elite, so I'm not happy at having to go through all these track limit warnings.
Good luck, my friend. You're probably going to need it.
I will need the luck. I'm going to spend my weekend looking at race directors, so I do accept cash gifts if you want to just my PayPal's in the, and I'm joking. But
wow. I mean,
cheeky plug.
Cheeky plug. $5 one way. Doesn't mean you'll get the ruling in your favour. Just means you donate $5. All it is.
that is correct. But if
that's where the
if you
scam
pay for
is.
priority processing, I'll
oh yeah, priority processing on tickets. I like that.
So Basink, if you're listening, I think you might want to get on that priority processing. That's how you raise some funds for the league, get some cool bots in the Discord, get some cool effects for the stream. So, of course, the steward should get a small portion. I'm joking. I'm joking. This is just a joke. There's no money involved with the stewarding, but I think we're gonna be looking to get some interviews done.
I think there's one person we need to bring on, Zakov. Zakov, 5 on the trot. I believe that is.
Yep.
Seemed pretty easy until the safety car. Yeah, does it actually get boring?
Honestly, man, after that restart, I pulled that gap. I was pushing because Deathseal was like itching closer to my DRS.
He was quite quick. He was hard,
and then I got out of it, and I was just like, "Fuck! I just want it to be over."
It's interesting that because he's slowly catching up to you over the past few races. He's definitely quick.
Yeah, he's on it, man.
Finally going to get a challenge. Might not actually win one.
Yeah, for sure. I'm keen for it.
Speaking to him, was it Bahrain? Because I wasn't hearing Jedin saying, "Can you do 5 in a row?" And you said maybe. Well, here we are. It's 5 in a row. How many in a row do you reckon?
I can never tell, to be honest. Like, I almost lost the car a few times there.
Reckon you can clean sweep the season?
Probably not. No, I don't think so. No.
It'd be one for the history books if you can.
Yeah, it would. That's what I'm going for.
What's your thought about next week starting P10 for the sprint race?
Not keen for it. No.
No, not a track you like, or just not happy to be at P10?
No, I love the track. I just don't agree with it, to be honest. But anyway,
from Weru that 0-0 wings might be an option.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You reckon you might?
I mean,
try
no,
0-0 wings?
Definitely not.
No?
Definitely not. No, definitely not.
No, not gonna have it. No,
kidding.
No,
I think
kidding.
0-0 is a horrible setup.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it's not the strat, definitely.
wait to see next week what you're going to go for. But
Yeah,
definitely some rumours lurking at 0-0 wings.
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully it'll be a bit more entertaining for you having to overtake a few people.
Yep.
From
The last sprint
P10.
race was a bit tricky because you failed to score points, but I think there were a few
Yeah, it
incidents.
was.
Do you think you're gonna get involved in any incidents around Belgium? It is a
No,
hard track.
I usually tend to learn from my mistakes, so hopefully not
All right, then
on my part.
we'll send you back to the Red Bull chat to have a chat with your team.
Yeah, cheers guys, thank you.
All good. All right, I think the next one we need to bring in is probably around. Yep, let's bring in your boy Ekim. Ekim, are you there,
Hello.
mate? Hello. What happened with that disqualification and then that comeback to get was it P4 at the end?
Oh, okay, yeah. So in quali, I was warming up my tires for my lap, and then I was spun into a wall, and I broke my wing.
Oh no.
And then I raged. I just let myself drive off into a wall, thinking that I'd DNF, but I didn't. So I was reversing out of the gravel, and I got disqualified. I wasn't planned. Yeah.
I mean, it was it was definitely a good comeback for both you and Crush. I know Crush
Yeah.
got tangled up in something as well at some point. So
Yeah.
good points for Williams.
Yeah. Finally. And
You're
we actually
looking-
both have a good result.
You're looking forward to the sprint race at Spa?
Oh yeah, because it's not a wheel track like the past two races have been.
You would say that. So for those
Yeah.
listening who doesn't know, the Eckham is a controller player, so
Even
he's
with all
made
the
himself.
assists.
An error.
That is controversial, but could be
Better than
true.
Gears.
I think Gaz is gonna want to have a word with you after that. But he is on controller. He's driving no assist, I think. Do you have a line on
Oh,
it?
I
Line
don't
on,
know
line
how
on.
you do that.
But on controller, that's pretty impressive with the pace he keeps. So
Gears
good job.
and no
Wait, can I promote my Twitch?
Go for it.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
I
about
don't
the
know.
rules, but just go for it.
Okay, guys, twitch.tv/ecam with 3 E's. Yeah.
Alright, there you
I'll
go.
type it in chat.
I'll give you one. I may get told off for that, but I'm sure they'll tell me.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll let you get back to your chat, dude. Have fun.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
And who else do we want to get? Wait, where did I put him? Wait.
I think you just yeeted him into the wrong garage. So
Oh. Oh well.
I think you disconnected him actually. So good ones.
I may have disconnected him. It's fine. I don't think I can actually put him back in that chat anyway because I don't have perms because I'm not on moderator. So unfortunate. Is there anyone else you want to talk to?
I want to talk to Dutchy.
You want to talk to Dutch? Alright. So commentary. Dutch. That was a bit of a if you're around. May not be around. He may be a bit AFK.
He is around. I've sent him a message. He said yes, please. So
Okay. Oh,
Hello.
hello, Dutch.
Hi.
How are you? How was that bit of chaos at the end?
I survived.
You lived? Yeah. It was
I lived.
close.
Wait, who's spawning in?
Uh,
Was it
that's a good
Gez?
question. I don't remember.
I can't. I know.
Or
I
was
don't
it
think Gears
Deku?
was Deku. It was Deku.
Yeah.
I mean, it was close between you and Gears as well, like side by side in a lot of positions. I think it caused a bit of chaos behind, and Val broke his wing, and then everything kicked off.
Oh, that was when Kebab and Gez were side by side. He spun and then Val got damaged.
That's
I
the
was
one.
behind him.
That's
I escaped.
you lived just barely.
Actually, I think I was the one that gave him damage because I slowed down to avoid the collision. I think he must have rear-ended me.
Might have.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But you lived. Good
Yes.
points.
Oh, I'm happy.
Yeah, and there might be a few people that get penalties around you too, from all that.
Yeah.
We never know.
Yeah.
What was it like in the last couple of laps? Because there was, I think there was 6 cars within the space of around 3-4 seconds, and they were all just like fighting every few laps. So what was it like?
It was stressful, but the thing is, they all had pens, so I was kind of sort of like pushing, but sort of not pushing. Like Ekim was right on my heels, and he was the only one without a pen around me, so that was fun for the last couple of laps. But yeah, I was taking it a bit 50-50 because I was one warning away from 3 seconds, so got to stay away from that.
Yeah, a lot of people might get their 3 seconds removed as well, just because of the whole glitches that are around the track.
It's only at one corner, so let's
So there
hope.
would be a lot of penalties of.
But the only one I'm worried about is Gaz. Hopefully he got his legit, and then I'm happy to be in podium. So
There you go. Well, we'll wait and see what the what he does and what happens with the FAA. But good race. What's your thoughts on Spa next week?
It's just as tricky as Australia. I mean, a bit less tricky. Like some of those corners in the middle sector where like you have low downforce and you got some tight twisty circuit corners. So yeah, I think it'll be a good challenge, especially the amount of curbs that spin you on the inside and outside. So
And the rumor is 0 wings. Some
no,
people might
not
be going.
happening.
What are you
if you-
looking at in terms of setup?
Zakov.
Zakov.
rumor
Right.
is Zakov might be trying 0 wings.
If he does, I'll probably steal someone like Tazza. He's normally like 6/10 quicker than me in time trial anyway. So
That's true.
I'll probably run something like 10/10 wings or something like that. I like the high downforce at Spa.
I'm a strong advocate for low downforce at Spa because Sector 1 and Sector 3 are just going to be completely out of everyone's reach because it's just going to be gaining a few tenths. So that's where all the
Yeah, but
overtakes happen.
That's true, but when you get to the tight and twisty parts, you catch
Difficult.
up and you got DRS, and then you just keep up with them.
Yep.
Well,
so-
we'll see what happens. It is a sprint race, so it's going to be a battle of the setups. And
Yeah.
Well,
sprint
you
race
did
starts.
promise no TC, so
Yeah.
I don't remember saying that. I do think that's
we
we
have
go.
a Twitch
defamation.
clip of that
Here we
where
go.
so you
There's
gotta...
no clip. This is a public platform, so this is slander. So you'll be hearing from our lawyer soon.
All right. I look forward
Oh,
to the
wow, I'm
letter
so scared of
and then
lawyers,
providing the Twitch clip. All right,
so
Dutch.
scared.
I'll let you
Gonna
go
sue
back
me.
to your chat.
Alrighty, boys. Have a good
Have
night.
fun, dude. Good luck next week.
Good race.
And I think that does it for us. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to follow if you want to find out when the next race is, which will be Monday. We do Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Whatever the time is in Sydney. Not good at time zone. I think it's AEST, but don't quote me. And don't forget to subscribe by the end of the month. If you do, you go into the draw to win 3 $50 Team gift vouchers. Thank you, Weru, for joining me today. Hopefully you'll be here next week. May have someone else, who knows?
We'll see.
Peace out, everyone.
Bye.